Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, entitled The Cosmic Manifestation, Chapter 1, titled The First Step in God Realization, text number 9. Parinishtopi nairgunya uttama shloka leelaya grihita cheta rajarshe Akhyanam yad adhitavan. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation. O saintly king, I was certainly situated perfectly in transcendence, yet I was still attracted by the delineation of the pastimes of the Lord, who is described by enlightened verses. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The absolute truth is realized as the impersonal Brahman, at the first instance by philosophical speculation, and later as the supersoul by further progress of transcendental knowledge. But if by the grace of the Lord an impersonalist is enlightened by the superior statements of Srimad Bhagavatam, he is also converted into a transcendental devotee of the personality of Godhead. With a poor fund of knowledge, we cannot adjust to the idea of the personality of the absolute truth, and the personal activities of the Lord are deplored by the less intelligent impersonalists. But reasons and arguments, together with the transcendental process of approaching the absolute truth, help even the staunch impersonalist to become attracted by the personal activities of the Lord. A person like Shukadeva Goswami cannot be attracted by any mundane activity. But when such devotee is convinced by the superior method, he is certainly attracted by the transcendental activities of the Lord. The Lord is transcendental, as are His activities. He is neither inactive nor impersonal. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. This chapter, the first step in God realization, is in response to a question asked by Parikshit Maharaj to Shukadeva Goswami towards the end of the first canto. This is the second canto, chapter 1. First canto has got 19 chapters. In the 19th chapter, Parikshit Maharaj, who was the son of Abhimanyu at the beginning of Kali Yuga, who was ruling this whole world as an emperor, when he was cursed by the son of a Brahmana to be killed by the bite of a serpent within 7 days, being a devotee of Lord Krishna from birth, he handed over his kingdom to his son Janmejaya and walked out of his kingdom with simple clothes in search of realizing the perfection of life. At that time, when he was walking on the banks of the Ganges, by the will of Lord Krishna, the great sage Shukadeva Goswami was walking in the same place, and both of them happened to meet. and there was a conversation between these two great personalities. Shukadeva Goswami was the son of the great sage Vyasadeva, who is the literary incarnation of Lord Krishna, whose main mission was to present the entire Vedic knowledge to the human society in a way that they can understand. So Shukadeva Goswami happened to meet, is a great saint. He's a great transcendentalist. He happened to meet the king Parikshit. And during the conversation, King asked Shukadeva Goswami, anyone who has been attending regularly this Bhagavatam class, anyone can tell what was the question? What was? Yes. Very nice. What is the perfection of all human beings, particularly when the death is very nearing? This was the question asked by Parikshit Maharaj to Shukadeva Goswami. And Parikshit Maharaj recognizes Shukadeva Goswami as a great personality and an authority on the subject matter. And that's how Parikshit Maharaj surrenders or keeps his head at the feet of Shukadeva Goswami, bows and seeks very in a humble manner as answer for this question. Hearing this question, the immediate response from Shukadeva Goswami was, wonderful. What a wonderful question you have asked. What a glorious question you have asked. Like a teacher, when he hears a wonderful question from the student, teacher gets very enlivened. So, the teacher, like Shukadeva Goswami, he immediately appreciated Parikshit Maharaj, saying that, what a wonderful question you have asked. This question is going to benefit. Answer to this question is going to benefit the entire humanity. And the very question itself is very glorious. So from here we can understand, asking question also is an art. There's a one person, great person said, success in life is all about asking right questions to the right person at the right place. So all these three all these criteria met between these two personalities. And as an answer is the first chapter of the second canto, where the title is First Step in God Realization. As after appreciating Parikshit Maharaj, he started answering the question asked by Parikshit Maharaj. Shukadeva Goswami started answering. He started explaining in the previous verses. This is the verse number 9. Just give a quick summary of the first 8 verses. He started explaining how entire human society was busy in so many other activities other than asking this question. And how the human society is wasting their time in various other engagements. Which are unnecessary, but in the middle of those engagements, they are forgetting this most important question. What is that question? Perfection. What is the perfection of life? But is nearing the death or not? very question that how do I perfect my life? What is the perfection means? What is the perfection of life means? When this question is asked by a human being, it is said that that person's human journey has really started. Krishna also says in the Bhagavad Gita, 7th chapter, Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschid yatati siddhaye siddha. Out of thousands among the human beings, we'll find rarely one person who asks this question. How to perfect my life? I'm busily running here and there like any other species of life, but what is that really I'm supposed to achieve? What is this perfection? And human journey starts. Till then, that means, till that question is asked, it is said that human journey has not actually started. Then what is the journey we have been going through without asking this question? So the real human journey starts with this, asking this question. And Shukadeva Goswami answers this question, saying that in the verse number 6, Etavan Sankhya Yoga Bhyam Swadharma Parinishtaya Janmalabha Parapumsam Ante Narayana Smritihi. Human beings generally are engaged in different kinds of activities. Somebody who is really philosophical in nature, they try to analyze this world, Sankhya. Somebody who want to perfect their bodily activities, they do some yoga, Sankhya Yoga Abhyam, Ashtanga Yoga. They try to perfect the bodily activities by controlling the air in the body. Swadharma Parinishtaya. Some people are engaged in doing their duties. As a mother, as a father, as a son, or as a daughter, as a professional, or as a country citizen. Various duties are there for each one of us in this world. 6th verse, Shukadeva Goswami says that Janmalabha Parapumsam. Pumsa means human birth. Janmalabha, having taken birth as a human being, the highest benefit, the highest perfection. While doing these three things, Sankhya, studying this world, yoga, and doing our duties, beyond all this, the real labha, real benefit comes when Ante Narayana Smritihi. At the end, if somebody can remember Narayana, Krishna, that is the highest benefit of life. Ante Narayana Smritihi. The same conclusion even Krishna himself says in the Gita. What we are hearing from Bhagavatam, from Shukadeva Goswami, even Krishna himself says in the Gita, in the 8th chapter. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mam anusmara yudhyacha mayyarpita mano buddhir mame vaishyasi asamshayaha. He tells to Arjuna, who was a warrior, my dear Arjuna, I am not asking you to stop fighting. You should continue to fight. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu, under all circumstances. Tasmat, therefore, sarveshu kaleshu, under all circumstances. Mam anusmare yudhyacha. While thinking of me, you continue to fight. Yudhyacha. Mayyarpita mano buddhir. You should offer arpana. Arpana means offering. What is Krishna is asking to offer? Manas and buddhi. Mind and intelligence. Mame vaishyasi asamshayaha. If you can work in this way, by offering your mind and intelligence to me and continue to fight while thinking of me, at the end, you will come back to me. In the purport of that verse, Srila Prabhupada says that this is the practical instruction for most of the people working in this material world. A practical instruction given by Krishna. Like every one of us are doing various duties. So how to think of Krishna? Krishna is saying, Mai arpita mano buddhir. Arpana of manas and buddhi to be done. What is the really meaning of that arpana of manas and buddhi means? Most of you are working in some or the other company, you have your own business, or you must be working for somebody. When we go to office working for somebody, those 8 to 10 hours, we offer our mind and intelligence to them. Arpana of our mind and intelligence. Mai arpita, Krishna is telling, I already done arpana of my mind and intelligence, those 8 hours or 10 hours. In these days, 8 hours is a very less. People are in the urban life, every company is making a person to work almost 15, 16 hours. So that much time they are demanding to offer your mind and intelligence to them. Krishna is telling, do that arpana to me. What does that mean? When you are offering your mind and intelligence for a company, what is that exactly happening? Company has got a goal. Company has got a vision. So they are asking, why don't you use your mind and intelligence to offer something to do work to align with the vision of the company, the goal of the company. That is called arpana. Krishna is telling, when he is saying mind and intelligence, you arpana to me means what? How should I arpana of my mind and intelligence? Krishna has got a goal. Krishna has got a vision for this world. So he is asking us, while doing your activity as a kshatriya or as a warrior, Arjuna is a warrior. Ma manusmara yudhyacha, continue to fight. At the same time, keep my goal in your mind. How you can use your profession, your activities, everything should be rooted in such a way that finally my vision is executed. My goal is executed. You become part of my vision. So when somebody accepts Krishna's vision as our vision, that means we have arpana of mind and intelligence started working. Because we are all driven by visions, right? Everyone wants certain goal. What I want to do in life, what I should do. And mind starts working. Intelligence starts working, thinking. I should do like this, I should do like this, I should do like this. Plans for this one, plans for that. In the next 5 years, what I should do, what is the plan for doing that? Krishna is telling, you use your mind and intelligence while working in this world, start making plans for me. So what is Krishna's plan? What is the whole Krishna's plan as revealed in the Bhagavad Gita? Anyone can say? What is Krishna's plan? Yes? Very good, very nice. Krishna's plan is he wants to take us all back home, back to Godhead. He wants all of us to come back home, back to Godhead. That is his plan. A common plan for the entire creation. A common generic plan for every living entity. Now how I should plan, how I should make my mind and intelligence do as an arpana of Krishna for that plan. So for that, first we need to understand that plan of Krishna from all angles. There are many devotees here who are been practicing Krishna consciousness for many years. Maybe some of you are very new, first timers coming into the class. Any plan or vision is given, suddenly it will not be accepted as it is. Somebody has to study that vision, how great that vision is. Study that vision from all angles. Ask questions. Why this is like this only? Why this is like this only? Then get convinced that I think what the vision given by Krishna makes sense. After coming to the conclusion, then accept to the heart. That's it. That is the beginning of the real spiritual journey, along with Krishna started. And that is the practical method for actually doing the smarana of Krishna. Ante Narayana Smritihi. When that is the perfection what Shukadeva Goswami was telling. How practically that smarana has to happen, further Shukadeva Goswami is telling in the further verses. In the today's verse number 9, Shukadeva Goswami is continue to address the king. O saintly king, I was certainly situated perfectly in transcendence, yet I was still attracted by the delineation of the pastimes of the Lord, who is described by enlightened verses. In the previous verse, 8, Shukadeva Goswami was saying that I got to understand this subject matter of Bhagavatam from my father, Vyasadeva. And even though Shukadeva Goswami was born a great spiritualist, a transcendentalist, but the way Vyasadeva described the activities of the Lord, Shukadeva Goswami got attracted. And that's what the point Shukadeva Goswami is mentioning in this verse. I was still attracted. And in the purport of this verse, Srila Prabhupada describing that the absolute truth is realized as the impersonal Brahman at the first instance by philosophical speculation. I'll keep it in silent. I forgot to keep it. What I was saying? Yes. Impersonal Brahman at the first instance by philosophical speculation, and later as the super soul by further progress of transcendental knowledge. But if by the grace of the Lord an impersonalist is enlightened by the superior statements of the Srimad Bhagavatam, he is also converted into a transcendental devotee of the personality of Godhead. What is the meaning of impersonalist? The meaning of impersonalist is a class of thinkers. The class of thinkers who think that the God has no form, God has no qualities. Impersonal. Opposite to a person. Person is having a personal attributes. Each one of us have got a attributes, qualities. Impersonalism means a line of thought which makes a person think or come to a conclusion that God must be a formless and without any quality, without any form. I was part of my preaching service, I was meeting some family, and that family as teenage children. So I was interacting with all the family members. So during the interaction I was asking, generally in your conversation, the topic of God, when it comes, what was the kind of conversation that comes among the teenagers? Like that. And they said that no, very rarely the topic comes, but when it comes, what do you respond like? Yes, God, if it is there, there must be some kind of power, some kind of energy which is controlling this power and controlling this energy. Must be there something. That is the kind of thought, that is the kind of discussion we'll be having it. Then I just thought, let Srila Prabhupada's grace be touched them once. Our Acharya, our spiritual master, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, his pranama mantra is Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. When we are offering prayer, pranamas to our spiritual master, we are telling that, oh my dear Srila Prabhupada, you are a disciple of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami, and you have removed impersonalism and voidism from all the Western countries. So Srila Prabhupada, as the devotee of the Lord, as a personalist, a great devotee of the Lord, his contribution is that he cleared the Western world from this line of thought as impersonalism. He cleared it. So during that interaction with that family, he told that, what is the meaning of God? Definition of God given in Bhagavatam, at the beginning of the verse, first verse of the Bhagavatam. Absolute truth is Janmadhyasya etaha, the source of everything. That is the actual meaning or definition of God or absolute truth, is the source from which everything is emanating. Then further, if everything is emanating from the source, each one of us are also part of that source. We all have emanated. That means we are all part of the creation of that source. Source has created. Each one of us came into existence. Then I gave the example. An example was given that of a mobile phone. A human being has created a mobile phone. This is the human being's creation. When you study this creation has got a memory to store, a way to enter the data, a key, enter the data, and I can process something using this my mobile phone. That means what are all the facilities that I have got? I also have some memory. I also have some processing capacity. I also can store the data, but I am putting all that in my creation here. That means looking at the creation, I can assume that whoever is created, these qualities must be existing in creator as well, by studying the creation. Now, we are all part of the Lord's creation, the source, which are all emanated, each one of us. Now, each one of us have got certain qualities. If you study each one of us have got a quality called thinking, feeling, and willing. Each one of us uniquely think. Our feelings, each one individual's feelings are unique. And the action that is taken based upon thinking and feeling is unique for person to person. If these three qualities which makes it unique from person to person are the attributes of an individual person, these attributes must be there in the source also. Without those attributes existing in the source, which is emanated from that source, each one of us are part of that emanation, we can have those attributes. We cannot have. Right? So as soon as we attribute these three things to the source also, that means must be existing, that source must be a person. Because without a person, only a person can think, only a person can feel, only a person can take some action. That means source also must be a person. It is no more a power, it is most powerful. It is no more an energy, it is an energetic person. That means he must be a person. So immediately the source As soon as the source from which everything is a person, oh, what is the nature of that person? We are all tiny persons. He is a supreme person. We are all having tiny thinking. He is having supreme thinking. It is corroborated again with the scriptures. Nityo nityanam chetanas chetananam eko bahunam yo vidadhati kaman. The individual tiny living entity is eternal, and the supreme living entity is also eternal. So, in this way, we have to in this purport, Srila Prabhupada has mentioned, but reasons and arguments together with the transcendental process of approaching the absolute truth help even the staunch impersonalist to become attracted by the personal activities of the Lord. So, our Acharya Srila Prabhupada has presented Krishna as a person. And each one of us are the followers of Prabhupada. We are the warriors of the Prabhupads, as he is the Senapati. He is the commander-in-chief. So under his direction, each one of us carrying the message of Srila Prabhupada should present Krishna to the whole world as a person having unlimited energies at his disposal. And this week's book distribution, or this month's book distribution, is a wonderful opportunity for all the warriors of Prabhupada to carry this message through Srila Prabhupada's books. Whoever the person touched by Srila Prabhupada's book, if he reads, as it is mentioned, Prabhupada presented all reasons and arguments in his books. If somebody reads those reasons and arguments, the general thought that God is an imperson will change, and he will accept Krishna as a person. God must be a person. And our life will be glorious. And Srila Prabhupada would be highly pleased if with our endeavor, if one jiva is touched and he got a conception that God must be a person, Prabhupada will give a beautiful smile looking at our endeavor. What a wonderful service you did. And there was a nice pastime, memory of Srila Prabhupada's devotees, because whoever touched by Srila Prabhupada's teaching, they develop this feeling that Krishna to be presented as a beautiful person, Sachidananda Vigraha. He is not a formless, very dull, Nirakara, Nirguna, no. I would like to read that memory of one devotee, how a follower of Prabhupada brought a glory to his spiritual master. How a disciple or a follower brings glory by his activities. If by our activities, if somebody says that whatever you got the knowledge from your guru, that guru is so great, what way you are speaking? So, there is in Kumbh Mela, Srila Prabhupada has got one of the disciples of Prabhupada. His name is, what is the name? Who are the first three disciples who are sent to London? Guru Das. There is a devotee, initial disciple, foreign disciple of Prabhupada by name Guru Das Prabhu. So he accompanied Prabhupada along with so many disciples to Kumbh Mela in the year 1970s or somewhere around that. So in the Kumbh Mela, I was reading, I'll read the memory recorded by that devotee Guru Das. How his activities, his conviction on Srila Prabhupada's teachings brought a glory or brought a transformation in the heart of an impersonalist in the Kumbh Mela, and he came to the feet and paid obeisance to Prabhupada. I'll read that. At the Mela in Amritsar, I made sure all the assembled devotees had a place to sleep. So Gurudas is explaining. The Gurudas devotee is explaining. All the sleeping spaces in one room was taken, so Giriraj and I had to find another place to sleep. Across the compound, we found a large dormitory type room, and we lay down in a corner. A sadhu came over to me, and Giriraj was already asleep. And one more devotee. The sadhu said to me, "We are all God, just like the spark of fire and the fire are one." So he is an impersonalist, telling that yes, we are all God. Each one of us are God. I answered, they are similar, and the spark has the quality of the fire, but not the quantity. Just like we have some of the qualities of God, but are the quantity that He has. We are qualitatively similar, but not quantitatively equal to God. We cannot cook a meal with a spark. We cannot, one spark we taken, we cannot cook. With the help of the one spark, what we can cook? We require a big fire to cook. The sadhu would not give up. No, sadhu was not happy with the argument. And he presented his point. He took a thread from his blanket and said, "See, this thread is the same as the blanket. The thread is same as the blanket." Krishna from within inspired me. I took away his blanket and gave him the thread. If they are the same, then this thread should keep you as warm as the blanket. I rolled up his blanket and used it as a pillow. It was very cold, and after an hour or so of shivering, the sadhu came back to me. He said, "You have proven your point." The thread is not the same as the blanket. I prostrate myself before you. You have defeated me. I replied, "Do not bow before me, bow before my Guru, who has taught me this." The next morning, the sadhu went to Prabhupada and bowed before him. So this is a wonderful pastime of how the warriors of Srila Prabhupada, who was touched by the teachings of Prabhupada with a strong conviction and understanding, with a reason, with a reasonable reason, right? What this devotee has presented. Reason presented that how it is both are the same. And the sadhu came to the senses. And that's how the devotees, his life became glorious, and Prabhupada was very pleased with his services. Like that, many disciples, they attracted the Srila Prabhupada's mercy and his teachings, they pleased Srila Prabhupada. So during this book marathon also, each one of us have got an opportunity to carry this wonderful message of Lord Krishna to present to the whole world that the Godhead is a person, the absolute truth is a person. So his teachings are this given in this book. Why don't you read this and make your heart enlivened with this understanding? So with this understanding, I would like to stop it here. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai.